What you are about to hear is a story that will profoundly change the way you think about teenage relationships, warning signs, and the devastating consequences when manipulation turns deadly. This is the tragic case of Jaden Parkinson, a 17-year-old girl whose bright future was stolen by someone she trusted, someone she loved. It is a story about love that turned toxic, about manipulation carefully disguised as affection, and about a crime so horrifying that even seasoned investigators struggled to comprehend the cruelty they uncovered. Jaden's life was filled with promise, warmth, and joy, a life tragically cut short by the calculated violence of someone she considered close. Jaden Parkinson was everything a family could hope for: loving, kind, and radiant with happiness. Her friends and teachers described her as a young girl whose energy and warmth drew people toward her. She had a mischievous streak, but it only enhanced her charm. From a young age, Jaden shared a profound bond with her mother, built on trust, love, and openness. This mother-daughter connection was the kind many aspire to, but few achieve. Her kindness and friendliness allowed her to navigate school life effortlessly. She treasured her friendships deeply, and her bright, cheerful disposition left a lasting impression on everyone who met her. Academically, Jaden excelled. She had clear dreams for the future, particularly her desire to become a hairdresser, a vocation that reflected her creativity, compassion, and desire to bring joy to others. At the age of 7, Jaden's world shifted dramatically when her parents divorced. The court's custody decision, awarding the children to their father, stunned everyone who knew the family. There was no apparent reason for the choice, no evidence of parental inadequacy. Moving to Oxford in the United Kingdom, Jaden and her siblings faced an abrupt separation from the comfort of their mother's care. This loss affected Jaden deeply, creating a void in her life at a formative age. As she grew into her teenage years, tensions between Jaden and her father intensified. His stricter parenting style, though rooted in care, felt restrictive to her. The limited contact with her mother left her yearning for emotional connection, and she began spending more time at her mother's home whenever possible. At the age of 14, during one of these visits, Jaden met Jake Blakeley and, through him, his older brother, Ben Blakeley. Ben, 20 years old, began pursuing Jaden despite the significant and inappropriate age difference. Initially, Jaden was captivated. The relationship made her feel special and mature, though she lacked the life experience to recognize the danger. Her friends and family saw red flags immediately, but Jaden, naive and enamored, ignored the warnings. Ben deliberately inserted himself into Jaden's life, befriending her classmates and positioning himself as a leader figure. At the same time, he showered Jaden with attention and affection, creating a seemingly perfect romance. But this illusion would not last. Within a month, Ben's behavior shifted. Compliments turned into insults, and love was replaced by degradation. Jaden, experiencing her first romantic relationship, blamed herself for his cruelty. Ben expertly manipulated her emotions, creating a cycle of praise and punishment that eroded her self-esteem. He used jealousy and fabricated accusations to isolate her from friends and family. The discovery of his substance abuse offered only a partial explanation for his instability. The true danger lay in his manipulative, controlling nature. Once trauma bonding had secured Jaden's attachment, his behavior escalated to aggression and violence. Ben's tactics were classic manipulator strategies, isolating her from support, controlling her social interactions, and instilling fear and confusion. Despite brief moments of resistance, Jaden struggled against his influence. Despite her bravery in standing up to Ben, her social circle slowly disintegrated under his relentless pressure. And then the situation reached its darkest point. Ben physically assaulted Jaden, striking her in the face. Her family watched in horror as the abuse escalated. Her mother tried to intervene, but Jaden was caught between the family who loved her and the manipulator she mistakenly believed she loved. In December 2013, Jaden discovered she was pregnant. At 17, facing an uncertain future and an abusive partner, she made a courageous and firm decision. She would keep her baby. Ben's reaction was one of unrestrained fury. He pressured, threatened, and violently controlled Jaden. His cruelty intensified, escalating to a level of evil beyond comprehension. In early December, Ben lured Jaden to a remote countryside location under false pretenses, isolating her from anyone who could help. There, he strangled her to death, but not just once. Forensic experts later confirmed he deliberately strangled her 3 separate times, reviving her between attacks to prolong her terror and maximize her suffering. After committing this unimaginable act, he forced his terrified younger brother to assist in disposing of her body, instructing him to help bury her in a churchyard and meticulously planning the concealment to avoid detection. Meanwhile, Jaden's family searched desperately, unaware of the horrific reality, growing increasingly anxious as hours turned into days. Their frantic search led to filing a missing persons report, which triggered a large-scale police investigation. Slowly, as investigators pieced together the evidence, the horrifying truth of Jaden's murder and the cruelty inflicted upon her began to emerge, shocking everyone who learned the details. On December 19, 2013, Jaden Parkinson's lifeless body was finally recovered, bringing a devastating end to the desperate search that had gripped her family and community. The autopsy revealed the horrifying truth. She had been strangled repeatedly, each attack leaving signs of extreme trauma and deliberate cruelty. Her family faced the unimaginable task of identifying her, confronting a reality too painful to bear. During the trial, Ben Blakeley attempted to evade responsibility by claiming mental illness, but psychiatric experts thoroughly refuted these claims. Numerous witnesses came forward to testify, describing the physical abuse, emotional manipulation, and the drastic changes they had observed in Jaden under his control. Forensic evidence confirmed the terrifying details, showing beyond doubt that her suffering had been prolonged intentionally. Throughout the proceedings, Ben displayed a shocking lack of remorse, at times laughing inappropriately, lashing out, and even threatening those in the courtroom. After 20 hours of careful deliberation, the jury delivered justice, finding him guilty of premeditated murder. The judge imposed the maximum sentence allowed under UK law: life imprisonment with no possibility of parole for a minimum of 20 years, emphasizing the ongoing danger he posed to society and ensuring he would never harm another innocent life. Jaden Parkinson's story is a heartbreaking reminder of how love can turn lethal when manipulation and abuse go unchecked. Her life, full of promise, was stolen, leaving behind grief, heartbreak, and lessons for all who hear her story. Her memory demands more than tears. It calls for vigilance, awareness, and action. Recognizing abuse early, listening to warning signs, and protecting young people from toxic relationships can prevent tragedies like hers. Rest in peace, Jaden Parkinson. Your life mattered, and your story will not be forgotten. May it serve as a call to protect, to intervene, and to honor the innocent lives lost to violence.